next pick is quite the character. The type of character that could be seen as something offensive in today's era. But what he truly represents is the fine craftsmanship of Warner Bros. Animation Studios and being somewhat of a cultural icon for a community that needed representation in a medium that previously lacked it. This character that I speak of is none other than Speedy Gonzales, the swifty mouse that loves cheese and dancing with the ladies, all having to deal with the likes of Sylvester the cat. What a mouse. Some may write off Speedy Gonzales as just some Roadrunner knockoff, considering they both are super agile and always being pursued by someone that's trying to eat them. But there is more to Speedy than what was seen at face value. Making his official debut in the 1955 short bearing his namesake, Speedy didn't only establish himself as the fastest mouse in all Mexico, but also as a bona fide cartoon star with an Academy Award nomination solidifying his spot. He went from starring out as a generic buck-toothed, red-shirted mouse in the 1953 short Cattails for Two to his now iconic look with the sombrero and that catchy catchphrase of his. Arriba, epa, epa, arriba, andale. Speedy Gonzales is a character that exuded charm and had a ton of charisma. Traits that the Roadrunner lacked, and that simple difference is what made him so appealing to many viewers. But he was much more than that. He was always the underdog, dealing with the likes of Sylvester the cat and sometimes Daffy Duck. It always seemed that he was at a disadvantage due to his size, but Speedy always kept his cool. The same could not be said about his friend Slowpoke Rodriguez, the slowest mouse of all Mexico.
Forgot to tell. That's what I wanted to tell you. Slowpoke Rodriguez, he pack a gun.
Appearing in 46 theatrical shorts and being paired up with Daffy Duck in the later shorts, Speedy also managed to stay relevant somehow when his other counterparts never managed to do so. Case in point, he will have his own feature film in theaters later in 2026. Not a direct-to-video release, mind you, in actual theaters, and directed by Jorge R. Gutierrez, for goodness sake. Speaking of him, that's another aspect that made Speedy Gonzales so revered. His connection to the Mexican community. Back then, many thought of Speedy as something offensive to Mexicans. It was easy to make that assumption because how many caricatures that the animators at Warner Bros. Studios conjured up for the Looney Tunes shorts years prior to Speedy's creation. Considering the shorts had received backlash for a while from 1999 to 2002, when his cartoons were pulled from Cartoon Network. But just like he did in his cartoons, no adversary could keep him down. The same community that the networks believed they were offending are the ones that saved him from cartoon obscurity. To them, he was their hero, always willing to outsmart anyone who stood in his way. Robert McKimson and Fritz Freeling never imagined that they would have inspired a whole community of people. But that's what came about with Speedy's presence in the annals of cartoon history. Fortunately today, he is seen as an icon as he deserves to be seen as. A true representation of Mexican culture. He's the character that inspired many Mexicans to embrace America. And in the case of Jorge R. Gutierrez, inspired them to pursue animation. Speedy's contribution to animation is rare amongst every character on this list. That's because, unlike Felix the Cat, Mickey Mouse, and Mighty Mouse, his relevancy and status is that of a cultural icon. He has transcended his origins as a Looney Tunes character, and many will get to see in theaters why he has held onto that prestige this long. Let's hope Slowpoke Rodriguez can catch up to him this time. You know, Speedy is the fastest mouse of all of Mexico, after all.
your sombreros, amigos. Here we go again.